Well, I have to do it. We have to call out SouthShore12 for not covering important news today. No, instead they're talking about Trump. Trump. People like, left-wing media. Now, SouthShore12 is right-wing, very right-wing, because they're really talking about Trump a lot compared to a lot of other stations, of course, because we all know. And then it's going to be even worse tomorrow. So let's talk about what they didn't cover. Laura Uhl posted this. Grand larceny investigation in New Hyde Park. It's the Stop and Shop on Hillside Avenue. There was grand larceny involving merchandise. Multiple suspects in a group removed items from the shelves and ran out toward westbound Hillside Avenue. The suspects took off on foot, and a witness waiting at a bus stop stated it was a large group running fast. So it was probably gang-related. Probably these gangs, maybe some of these gangs from the migrants that are coming over. The illegals, I should say. Several workers stated every morning the same suspects on a random basis was run out with small stuffs. So, you know what's going to happen? They're going to eventually close that store because of all the crime going on there. And that's just New Hyde Park going down the tubes, another area in the middle of the island. Not that SouthShore12 could give a damn. And I'm irate over this, too. They barely covered this. This story. Child struck by nice bus suffers minor injuries. I know minor injuries, but it's still a big deal. This happened on Woods Avenue in Oceanside. It actually did happen on the South Shore, but they barely covered this.
We now know a child was hit by a nice bus in Oceanside. That's according to police, who say the child suffered minor injuries. The bus company said the collision happened on Woods Avenue.
So, 3 sentences. That's all it gets. 3 freaking sentences. Seriously, you guys, don't even bother even covering it if you can't even cover it properly. I mean, really. And, of course, they were all over Trump. All over Trump. All over this. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Trump supporters arrive at
rally at the Nassau
prepared to
Coliseum.
camp out in line. And we're going to probably have to call them out tomorrow, too, as well.
Joe, it's pretty incredible how many people are here already. Take a look over here. You see this crowd. Their vehicles are all right behind them. This is right on the side of Hempstead Turnpike, right near the entrance to the Nassau Coliseum. All these people outside right now after police made everyone leave the property a little while ago.
So, yeah, let's go talking about security, obviously, after what happened. Oh, my gosh. Selling merchandise. I mean, this is... Look, I'm not going to say anything. Because I don't want anyone to hate these people, all right? But I don't agree with them at all. They're brainwashed, is what they are. Trump supporters.
I'm sure we had a good spot right up front.
I'm staying here in the truck all night.
Okay.
I'm staying in the truck's not moving.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So, of course, 2 minutes. 2 minutes they get on that. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Another thing they were on the South Shore with. Yeah, emergency in the water. 1 minute and 22 seconds.
That emergency call caused quite a stir, but everyone...
Why do you spend 1 minute and 22 seconds on that, but not a kid getting hit by a nice bus?
Is okay. We want to show you exactly what
Luckily,
it was.
the kid
Take
is
a look
okay,
with
but
us.
still.
This is a shipwreck called the Rhoda. Now, this all started before 11. Nassau police
It's probably
say
due to all the big
old
waves and
capsized
stuff.
Boat. Turns out it was the shipwreck.
I was always wondering what that was.
Who the hell cares?
The Rhoda is a 315-foot-long cargo ship.
Why does that get 1 minute and 21 seconds when a kid getting hit by a bus gets 14 seconds? You guys are a disgrace. You guys are absolutely disgraceful. Let's see if they covered this. You never think this would happen. Multiple. Maybe they actually covered some crime today. All right, they did cover this.
On what one Suffolk business owner says was a string of burglaries.
And this is what we deal with in the middle of the island. Plenty of crime. At least, I'll give them credit, they covered one thing in the middle of the island today.
News 12's Tama Ponton.
I know the Trump thing's in the middle of the island, but everybody there, I guarantee you that 75% of the people at that Trump rally are from the South Shore.
Tonight in Lake Ronkonkoma.
But this is what we deal with in the middle of the island,
Tama,
Lake
good evening.
Ronkonkoma.
Well, good evening to you, Joe.
At least
We
they
are at
covered
Beer,
this.
Cigar, and Lotto here on Portion Road. An employee sharing a photo with us of what he says was a damaged door, one of these front doors back here. And Suffolk police tell us they are investigating incidents at several businesses in this area.
I'm not really that surprised, but, you know, it's a little
This is
scary.
what we deal with in the middle of the
Horrible.
island.
Concern and worry tonight in Lake Ronkonkoma after business owners on Portion Road tell News 12 their places were burglarized overnight.
We're a small salon, you know, mom and pop type business, and you never think that this is going to happen in your own backyard.
The owner of Salon La Couture says this was the damage left behind after someone smashed their way inside and stole money. She tells News 12 that 5 other businesses in Lake Ronkonkoma and Ronkonkoma were burglarized. News 12 also spoke with employees at Island Lake Diner who say they too were vandalized. An employee at Beer, Cigar, and Lotto
always the middle of the
also
aisle,
shared
isn't
this
it?
photo tonight with News 12. He says it's a busted glass door that was damaged. Business owners we spoke with say they're not just upset about the crimes, they also lost money because they had to pay for repairs, and some had to close while they cleaned up.
How disheartening that somebody came in and this is
Well, this
our
is what we
livelihood.
get to deal with in the middle of the island.
And I just spoke with Suffolk police. They tell me no arrests have been made, but they're not releasing any other information tonight.
Hopefully they can catch them. They got cameras and everything, so hopefully they can catch them. Another story on Trump. Of course, they were all over this too. That was from yesterday. Protests planned ahead of Donald Trump. At least they gave that 2 minutes and 15
concerns
seconds.
from both elected officials and community members regarding former President Donald Trump's rally tomorrow. There are planned protests to take place tomorrow, but there are also some that are already underway tonight. I want to show you one of them taking place right now in Uniondale, not far
That's
away
what
from
we
the
need to see.
Coliseum. This is Make the Road Action, along with members of the Haitian community, have gathered at the Blue Mermaid restaurant. Now,
Yeah,
they are
because we
upset
know
with the
Trump's a
former president
racist. You know the
spreading what
comment
they
he made
call
about Haitians.
anti-immigrant rumors during last week's debate. And they say his message is not welcome here on Long Island.
Well, unfortunately, it is on the South Shore.
Want to be able to come together, but we're horribly worried about some of the violent rhetoric that unfortunately is demonizing our neighbors.
Protests are expected to continue tomorrow when
Look
former
at
President
that.
Trump arrives at the Nassau Coliseum for Wednesday's
That
rally.
poster.
There's a designated area just outside the Coliseum fence along Hempstead Turnpike
He's a fascist. He's a fascist running for president.
called the Free Speech Zone. Nassau County Police say they will be providing safety and security for all attendees of the rally, including...
Really? Look at that. This guy thinks he's like a celebrity or something. This is the problem. It's sickening. You're running for the president of the United States, but it's all a show. Ever the showman that Donald Trump is.
including those in the protest area. Those expected to gather include Nassau County Democrats. New York State Democratic Party Chairman Jay Jacobs
Now, this
is
guy I do
expected to
not like,
attend,
Jay Jacobs.
along with other
I do not like him. He's a Wall Street Democrat.
There'll be peaceful protests. There'll be certainly, nothing to upset anyone. It's just to make our point that we don't think Donald Trump is good for Nassau County.
Another issue of contention, the cost of hosting the Republican presidential nominee.
Yeah.
County Executive Bruce Blakeman says Team Trump is paying for the rally, but the security bill falls to the county.
That's part of our job as a government entity, to provide safety and public order and law and order.
Think about your taxpayer money going for something like this, and you're not even having a say as to whether or not that's what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah, she's preppy too. See,
And as
here
you
in
can
New
see,
York,
members of Make the Road Action...
unfortunately, both parties are for those people. But on the national stage, it's obvious which party is for those people, and that's Trump.
right now making signs for tonight's protest, getting ready to make sure
The
their
Trumplicans,
voices are
the
heard. We're told
Republicans don't
members of the
exist
Haitian
anymore.
community, many
So
of
I
them
figured I'd play.
here tonight do plan on being there to protest tomorrow when former President Trump arrives at the Nassau Coliseum. We're in Uniondale tonight.
Tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a crazy day here on Long Island, but I'm sure SouthShore12 is going to be all over it. At least they covered one thing here for us lowly people in the middle of the island. At least one thing they covered, the crime that occurred here. Occurred at Ronkonkoma there, but that's all you're going to hear about. And, if you go to some of the other stations, I'm just kind of curious if CBS New York is all over this. Let's see if CBS New York is. See, they're not even talking about it. It's over here, but they're not so obsessed with it. It's News 12, SouthShore12, obviously, because the demographic that watches that TV station, obviously, a lot of Trump supporters. Not surprising. So let's just hope everything goes peaceful tomorrow. But as far as you, SouthShore12, all right, you covered one story decently, but barely covering that child struck by the bus is just pitiful. You need to be covering more of the crime and less of the political stuff, but we all know the demographic that watches SouthShore12 doesn't have to worry about crime so much. They're more interested in the politics. They're sitting pretty in their enclaves. So, with that, thanks for watching. Good night.